We're going to be solving cube root equations, and what you need to understand is we're sort of undoing a process. We know that it's going to be to the third root. What we're going to do to each side, we're going to raise it to the third power. So that kind of undoes the root. So it's going to be x is equal to 5 to the third power is 125. If you want to check, all you have to do is substitute, control, and then that symbol, third root, and then you have 125. 125, you press enter. I'm going to go ahead and do example 3. There is another method to solve this, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. You can also do it graphically. Go ahead and press new, graphs, and then we're going to go ahead and type in our equation, control, and then the third root, and then we're going to type in x minus 17. Press enter. Now you notice here is our function, and we want to know when this is going to intersect 4. Now the question is, how much do we extend it? What you can do is you can go ahead and change your window setting. We're going to do our Y max, let's say 100. And of course we're just guesstimating. And it was a good guesstimate because we can see the intersection, menu, graph, analyze graph, intersection, left bound, right bound, and you notice the answer to this is x is 81. When x is equal to 81, the answer is 4, which is correct. So they're saying here that x equals 81. And we can check this algebraically. We're going to go ahead and raise this to the third power, both sides. So we have x minus 17 is equal to 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. You add 17, so you have x equals 81. So you can do this algebraically, or you can do this graphically. Okay, so I'm going to do this algebraically and then check graphically. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add 4. So I have the cube root of 13a minus 1 is equal to 4. And you notice we're having a third root, so we're going to go ahead and raise this to the power 3. We're going to raise it to the power 3. And you notice that the 3's are it's going to undo the process. Instead of saying cube root, we're raising it to the third power. So we have 13a minus 1. And 4 to the third, as we did before, is 64. You add 1 to both sides. So you have 13a equals 65 divided by 13. I think it's going to be 5. We can check with our graphing calculator. Go to the tab menu. Of course, you're not going to use a. You're going to use x. I'm going to write 13x. 13x. And I'm going to say minus 1. Of course, you got to remember to go outside the radical, minus 1. Enter. And of course, we don't want f of x to equal to 4. We want f of x to equal to 0. So let's find the intersection, menu, analyze graph, 0. No, analyze graph, menu, menu, analyze graph, intersection, lower bound, upper bound. Oh, I made a mistake. You see minus 1. It's supposed to be minus 4. And there's our solution, 5, 0, 5, 0. remember that when you have a fraction, an exponent is a fraction, you have x minus 2 raised to the 1/3. You know that's going to be the root. So that is a cube root, but I want to teach and I want to explain to you that you can raise this to the reciprocal of 1/3, which is 3/1. And you'll see why right now. So I'm going to raise this to the reciprocal, 3/1. And we know that 3 divided by 1 is 3. So we know that it's going to be 3 times 1 is 3. And 3 times 1 is 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And we have 5 raised to the 3rd power because 3 divided by 1 is 3. So this will just simply be x minus 2 equals 5 to the 3rd power. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. You add 2 to both sides, so x is equal to 127. Now, if you want to use your calculator, you can. Let's go and go to the on button. Oh, I'm sorry, the tab button. There we are. The tab button, I'm going to go up here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to I'm going to go ahead and write my parentheses. And we have x minus 2 control division. Oh, control division 1/3. Press enter. And there's our graph. But now we want it to equal 5. So I'm going to go to tab. I'm going to go up and I'm going to go ahead and type in 5. And then I'm going to press enter. Now you notice my intersection is somewhere over here and it's 100. So let me go ahead and adjust the window. And the x max, I'm going to say 200. Enter. And there is the intersection. Menu. Analyze graph. Intersection. Left side, right side. And when x is 127, it's going to be 5. So our answer was correct. Number 9, we have 2x raised to the 1/3 power minus 2 is equal to 0. We're still solving for x, so we're going to add 2 to both sides. So we have 2x to the 1/3 power is equal to 2 divided by 2. So this will be equal to 1. So we have x to the 1/3 power is equal to 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and raise this side to the 3/1 power. You raise this to 3/1. 3 divided by 1 is 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3. And 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3, so it's going to be 1. So x is equal to 1. If you want to see this graphically, you can. Go to tab. And all you have to do is adjust this over here. Type a 2 there. Enter. Tab. And we're going to go, well, I forgot to do something, but I'll do that right now. I'm going to go up. Minus 2. Enter. I'm going to go ahead and go to zoom standard just to see how it looks in the standard window. And you notice here is the 0 and here is the function, and you see the intersection is 1. Now if you want to see it the way we've been doing it, intersection, and there's our intersection 1, 0. So when x is 1, the y value is 0. So we figured it out. You're going to have a problem just like number 11. The formula A equals 6b to the power 2/3 relates to the surface area cube square units of a cube to the volume V in cubic units. What is the volume of the cube with a surface area of 486 inches squared? So we know that the area is 486 inches squared, and we know that it's going to be 6V to the power 2/3. I think the first thing to do is divide both sides by 6. So I'm going to go ahead and go to calculator, and we have 486 divided by 6. 81. So we have 81 is equal to V raised to the power 2/3. Now, we have 2/3. What we want to do is we want to raise it to the reciprocal. Why do we want to raise it to the reciprocal? Because 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 2 is 6, which comes out to be 1. So that's what we want. We want V to be raised to the first power. So now 81 is going to be raised to the 3/2 power. But let's talk about it. You know, the 2 means the square root, so it's 9. And then 9 raised to the third power is 9 times 9 is 81. 81 times 9 should be 729. So the volume is 729 inches cubed.